Hello everyone, I Komal Sharma, Assistant Professor of Biyani Group of Colleges would like to welcome all you here on behalf of the Hall organization. So here I am going to present my lecture on communication. Basically, before going to just describe the process of communication, the meaning and definition of communication, how to make the communication effective and what are the basic advantages and the types of communication, I have some questions from your side actually. You people think that what is the basic meaning of communication? Is it alike that how we speak, how we present, or how we have words with another persons? So basically here I would like to just get rid from you from this fair that communication means to speak, to share, to just have words with another people. The basic definition and meaning of communication is to exchange, to share, the process of receiving and sending the information, ideas and messages. So basically from this definition we can extract the meaning of communication, that what is the basic meaning of communication, what is the basic definition of communication, which is to exchange, to share, to deliver or to receive or to send some messages so that the receiver can understand our words, our ideas, whatever we want to share with that person. Fine, so hopefully this is the enough definition, or we can say the meaning of communication. Basically, the youngsters thinks, and we can say everyone thinks that why we need to communicate, how we need to communicate, where we need to communicate, and why we have to learn to communicate with another person. Some people think that, oh, communication is very simple to have, but actually sometimes this is very difficult, and in communication every person actually attentive towards just everything or everything from toe to top, we can say. So basically here I have the process of communication by which you can make your communication effective. So here for my past 6-7 questions I have the reply for yours, that is why we need to communicate. In today's era we all want to be very professional, we all want to be very attractive, we all want that somebody have to attentive towards us like that. So for my last questions, like I asked you that why we need to communicate, where, how, when. So basically in today's era if we want to survive we have to be a very good communicator. If we are not a good communicator, we are not a representable personality, or we are not the professional one. Everyone wants to look smart, everyone wants to look very attractive, very attentive, or we can say very much decent, we can say. So basically it is the only process of communication which makes us very presentable, which makes the impressive personality among the people, we can say. So here I ask that everyone wants to be look very smart. If everyone wants to be very professional kind of person, then that person needs to be a very good communicator. So here I have the process of communication. There are 7 major process of communication. So basically we understand that communication is the process between the sender and the receiver. It's okay, this is the process between the sender and receiver, but there are various things which come into the sender and the receiver, which we call the communication. So basically first of all we have the first major process of communication, that is our sender. For example, me here as the sender of this communication, and you people who receives my messages, but this message will never be completed while you are not able to just decode that message completely. So basically here I have the basic process of communication, so that it will help you to understand what is the basic meaning of communication. So first of all we have the sender, the person who sends the message, information, ideas. That is what we call the basic person, the sender, the first person, we can say. Then when we come upon the second major process, that is our idea. Idea, we can say the concept, the topic, the message or the information about what we want to share, about what we want to speak, we can say. So here until the idea comes into our mind, we cannot share anything, we cannot speak anything. Either we have to keep the idea in our mind so that we can just change our ideas into the communication process. So first of all, while the sender keeps in his or her mind the idea, at that time that person encode that message. Encoding means to think about the message, to think how we communicate and what will be our process to communicate, either that would be verbal or non-verbal channel. Is it so? So when we decided to communicate with the next person, and when we decided that yes, this is the basic point, this is the basic things here, this is the basic concept to communicate. So that is what we call the encoding, the receiving, the rewiring, or we can say the remembering of messages and ideas by the sender is what we call the encoding. Now when we come upon the fourth point means channel of communication. Channel of communication means the process by which the sender sends the message. For example, me over here use the verbal communication, right? Verbal communication, which orally I just want to make you understand that what is the basic process of communication. So here what I'm doing here, my channel of communicating my message is the verbal communication, the oral communication, in which I'm using my words, my facial expression, my hand gesture. You can see me. Okay, so here my channel has been completed over here. Now when we come upon the next point, that is our receiver. So basically what is receiver? You people are receiving my message, you people try to understand my message, you people try to listen me. So what you people will call by the receiver, the fifth channel of communication, which is very important. Until the receiver are not able to understand the sender's message, the communication is not fulfilled. Is it so? So our fifth process is our receiver. Receiver plays very important role in a communication. And when we talk about the sixth point, that is our decoding. When the receiver, although you people hearing me, but when you listen me and try to implement my words into your action, at that time it will convert into your decoding, which means to rewiring, to remember that thing. Like sender, when the senders, before sending the message, he encode the message, at that time the receiver, before receiving, after receiving or after hearing the message, he or she will just decode that message. He or she will just try to implement those words into the action, we can say. And then the last one is feedback. Feedback is very important. Until the feedback isn't replied by the receiver to the sender, the communication is not considered to be fulfilled. Although at that time I'm not getting your reply or getting the feedback right now, but still I can see that you having interest in my words. Okay, so here the basic meaning, definition, and the process of communication. So after getting the definition, meaning, and the major 7 process of communication, now I am coming upon the point, the 10 ways of effective communication. Obviously, while we get the thing that this is the basic meaning and definition of communication, this is the process of communication, but until we cannot understand this thing, that how we communicate effectively, at that point we are not that much satisfactory. So basically I have the 10 points by which you can make your communication very much effective, very much interactive, very much impressive, or very much attentive, we can say, so that you can attract the another people towards you. So first of all, I have the first point, to be very enthusiastic. Yes, this is very much important thing. While you are not enthusiastic towards the next person, and while you don't able to show your energy towards the public who are just around you, until that the people will not take interest to listen you basically. And while the people will not listen you, this is not what we call the communication. At that point you cannot speak that, oh, my communication has been completed. So basically, first of all, we have to be very much enthusiastic while we are in conference, while we are in a meeting, or while we are among the people. At that time we have to show that enthusiasm, that energy, that confidence level, that smoothness, that sharpness in your words and voice. So basically, to be enthusiastic promotes you towards the effective communication. So hopefully you'll keep into this mind that the effective communication leads us by the enthusiasm, by our energy, by our promotion. Is it so? Now, when we talk about our second point, that is ask question to your receiver. While you will be in front of the people, you will sit in a meeting, you will sit in a conference, or you will sit in a seminar, we can say. At that time, you always want to make your receiver very much attractive towards you. Is it so? This is very simple question. While you are sitting in front of a person and the sender always speaks and speaks and speaks and speaks on and off, and the sender doesn't take interest in your words, in your point of view, you are thinking about that speaking, until you want to get what the receiver thinks about you. So before that you have to ask question to the receiver, so the receiver keeps that interest in you continuously. So for making your communication very much effective, you have to ask questions to the receiver, so that the receiver keeps point upon you, so that don't make him or herself very much lethargic or very much poor listening. Is it so? So now when we come on our third point, the proper body language is very important. As I told in my previous lecture in personality development, that our body language is very important to make our personality good, or to make our communication very much effective. See, communication doesn't mean to share or to exchange words only. This is not the process to exchange or share the words. This is the process how you feel about the communication, and what you think about the communication in much depth, and how much depth you think about the communication. So this is very important to make your body language very much proper. And in body language, various things comes, like our facial expression, our voice, our hand gesture, our body movement, and everything comes into the body language, which is very much accordingly towards our words only. Our body language must be according to our words. Is it so? While our body language is according to our words, the receiver is easily able to understand our communication. Is it so? So body language makes you better your communication effective. So here we have my fourth point: show approval towards the receiver. This is the very important thing. When you want to make your receiver very much attentive, or when you want to make your receiver very much good listener, we can say, at that time you have to give the approval towards the point of view of the receiver. While you give the approval to your receiver, to their opinion, and towards while the receiver speaks about something about your words, at that time you have to give them approval. You don't just insult those person that, oh, just sit down, just shut up, you don't dare to touch, and you don't dare to speak, in fact. So basically this is a very important thing. Here I did mistake over, and doesn't matter. So show approval towards the receiver. While we show the approval towards the receiver, at that time receiver become very much attentive, and our communication become very much effective. While the listener gives attention your communication will automatically convert into very much affection, very much effective, we can say. Here I have my fifth point, that is listen attentively. While you want to make your receiver very much attentive towards you, at that time you have to be very attentive towards the receiver. While you become first of all the attentive towards the receiver automatically attentive towards your words. Is it so? So fifth point is very important, to give the attention towards the receiver. Now my sixth point is proper eye contact. This is very important. While you sit in front of people, there are various among about 10, 20, 50 persons, people sit in front of you. At that time you have to keep continuous eye contact with every person. While you have the eye contact, at that time every person think, oh, this person actually talks to us. Is it so? So this is very important, to have a proper eye contact with the person when you speak in front of people, and you have the eye contact with a person only. At that time another people think, oh, this person speaks to that person only, this person don't speaks to us, in fact. So this is very important, to have a proper eye contact with every person, with every people. While you talk with only one person, at that time you have to keep continuous eye contact. This doesn't mean that you have to just stare into that person's eyes. No, this is not staring. This is just keep a smooth eye contact with the next person, with the receiver, we can say. Now we have the seventh point is smiling face. This is very important thing. While you communicate like this, at that time what the receiver will think, oh, this person is very rude, very stuffy, very crucial, we can say. So this is very important, to keep a facial smiling, face smiling upon your face, so that receiver automatically attract towards you, so that receiver think that, oh, you are the very positive person, and the receiver automatically arises interest to talk to you. Okay, so now my next 8 point is show higher energy. This is very important. Show enthusiasm and energy. These things are related to each other. And yes, there you have to show energy towards the receiver, towards the topic about what you are talking. This is very important, that your energy shows your confidence, that how much you are confident. Your energy, as much as you are energetic, your confidence will be lasting. Either if you are not that much energetic, the receiver will think, oh, you're dumb kind of speaker. Okay, so my 9th point is use simple words. You have to use very simple words. When you use very much stuffy words, very exaggerating words, very largy words in order to impress the people, what the people will think, oh my god, this person is very much egoistic, that's why he uses or she uses the very typical words. So at least we avoid to use the very much typical words. We have to use very simple words so the people who are around us can easily understand our language, our communication. Now, here my last but not the least point is use the appropriate voice, and the tone is very important thing. While we communicate with the next person, our voice, our tone is very important. When we talk with a single person, at that time our voice should be very soft, very smooth, so that one person only can listen that. And while you are all like that, when you talk with the one person only and you shouts in front of them, what that person will think, oh my god, why he or she is shouting right now. So this is very important, yeah, that we have to use our voice, our tone according to the audience. How much audience we have in front of us, our tone and voice should be accordingly. Thank you so much. This is my whole process of communication, how you make your communication very much effective, and trust me, this is very much helpful to become a good professional person. This is for all the girls and all the boys too, because everyone in today's era, if you want to survive in today's era, in today's world, we can say we have to be a very much good communicator. In other field, in academic field, while we go into the academic field, in professional field, management field, we can say accounts field, everywhere we need to be a good communicator. Everywhere we need to be an effective good communicator, we can say. So here I have whatever I have given you, maybe I was succeeded to get. So hopefully this will be very helpful to you, and make sure this is the basic points which can make you a good communicator. Thank you, and for the further information you can log in to www.gurukpo.com. Thank you.